the Richmond Journalism Teaching Studio at the University of Illinois campus, UI7 News, your U of I news source.
Hello, I'm Olivia Schmidt.
And I'm Samantha McQueen. Welcome to this week's edition of UI7 News.
If you're in Campus Town Friday night, you're going to want to be on the lookout for the 5K Run Walk taking place. The event starts at 7:30 near the State Farm Center and goes through Campus Town. Runners will head down First Street, head east on Green, then wrap around John Street, finishing at Memorial Stadium. Saturday marathon runners will line up around 6:30 in the morning. The race route spans a large part of the Champaign-Urbana area. You can see here on the map, the race starts on campus. Runners head through Urbana, making their way through downtown and as far east as Philo Road. Then runners head back towards Champaign, making their way through the downtown area, west to Duncan Road, and then heading back through town. They will finish at Memorial Stadium. You can find detailed maps of all these races this weekend at IllinoisMarathon.com. The maps show course routes, mile markers, hydration gel, and medical stations. Preparations are underway for the Illinois Marathon this weekend.
This year marks the 10th anniversary for annual races in Champaign. UI7's Shani Benezra checked in with organizers of the event and joins us live on the University of Illinois campus with more. Shani?
Nearly 20,000 people will gather here in Champaign-Urbana this weekend for the Illinois Marathon. Events will kick off in less than 24 hours here at the University of Illinois campus, and runners are getting prepared. The 10th annual Illinois Marathon will take place this weekend in Champaign-Urbana. Tonight, race organizers are putting their finishing touches on plans.
It's a year-round event. We have a small staff that works year-round, and we have an organizing committee of about 80 people that work with us managing different aspects of the event.
The signs are ready to mark the route that runners like these will use to trek their way through Champaign-Urbana this weekend. There's a lot happening before the actual race. The Health and Fitness Expo begins tomorrow.
It's a combination of the place where our runners come to receive their official race bib, their official drawstring backpack, and their commemorative shirt.
Body and Soul Sports is one of 70 vendors that sets up booths at the expo. The local running store sells embroidered merchandise for the marathon.
We try to choose colors that might pop. And because it's Illinois, we try to do blues and oranges a lot. So you'll see those colors a lot.
Race organizers say the Illinois Marathon is more than just a race for the Champaign community.
It's really swept up the town in a way that has brought everybody together in such a great way. It shines a wonderful light on our community.
You can still register for the marathon through the expo on Friday to be both a participant and a volunteer. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Shani. That's What She Said organization is partnering with Body and Soul Sports to hold a shoe drive at the Marathon Expo tomorrow and Friday. Participants can donate gently used shoes of all styles and sizes at their booth and at the 4th and 27th mile events. The shoes will be cleaned, sorted, and delivered to local organizations.
Graduation is just around the corner, and businesses in the Champaign-Urbana area are expecting an increase in their revenue. UI7's Stella Yu got a closer look at the economic impact of graduation weekend.
Local businesses on campus and in the community are preparing for one of the biggest events of the year, graduation weekend. Visit Champaign County is a destination marketing organization for the greater Champaign area that helps to promote and drive economic impacts for the community.
U of I graduation is a sellout weekend, and we have over 5,000 hotel rooms in this community. So we're looking at close to a $5 million economic impact over the course of graduation weekend.
Reeve Stark says that it is essential for students to make reservations well in advance for not only hotels, but restaurants too.
Whether it's doing brunch, lunch, or dinner, because you will look around the downtown area businesses and you will see that they're all going to be full throughout the course of the weekend.
The increasing university traffic during graduation weekend helped boost profits for businesses in town.
As far as university events are concerned, the graduation is most certainly bigger than Mom's Weekend and Dad's Weekend and some of the other major events that happen throughout the year.
With graduation coming up in just a few weeks, hospitality businesses like the Union Hotel are hoping for a peak in their yearly revenue.
We sell them a year in advance, and they're committed with a deposit, and that has to be committed by 30 days before the event. So that ensures that we're full.
The marketing department of Visit Champaign County looks over many accommodations like the Union Hotel.
When we talk about economic impact of an event to the community like graduation, we really look at hotel motel tax and the number of heads and beds that happen over the course of the weekend.
Reefstack says that we can expect a profitable weekend for all businesses around Champaign area and hopes that students and parents alike enjoy the great opportunities during graduation. In Champaign, I'm Stella Yu, UI7 News.
With graduation just 2 weeks away, seniors are making their final impressions with potential employers. Despite the Illinois' unemployment rate being at an all-time low since March of 2007, some students are still struggling to get their foot in the job market. UI7's Jian Kim has the story.
With the end of the spring semester fast approaching, students are eager to find internships or full-time jobs. Many start the process of applying for positions well in advance in hopes of securing employment beyond the academic school year. Illinois Department of Employment Security announced that the state's unemployment rate has decreased by 0.1 percentage point in March. Furthermore, the number of open positions was on the rise from January to March with an average of 4,000 jobs or more. Despite the unemployment rate being at an all-time low, Illinois still continues to be 0.5 percentage points above the national rate. Some seniors are struggling to solidify their plans after graduation. Senior in economics Christian Wang has been job searching since the beginning of the semester. He says he applied to over 100 positions and has yet to hear back with an offer. Wang says he believes the unemployment rate has decreased because the nation recently came out of a recession. He says this makes it difficult to gauge the actual competition, even though job openings are on the rise.
I'm an economics major. I actually believe that the recession will hit pretty soon. It's either this year or next year. That's my take on it, so I'm pretty concerned.
Although he is currently unemployed, he says he plans to continue applying until he finds a match.
I want to find a job within the summer. I don't want to take a gap year. I just want to work right away and start providing for my family.
According to a new report from Illinois Department of Employment Security, Illinois Department of Commerce's Director Sean McCarthy said the gap in rate between Illinois and the nation is due to the state's lower growth in management of companies and enterprises in the state. In Urbana, I'm Jian Kim, UI7 News.
Attorney General Lisa Madigan files a lawsuit against Suburban Express in hopes of shutting it down. The local bus company is under fire for allegedly illegally discriminating and harassing college students and their families. Now, the Attorney General is taking action. She filed a lawsuit against the company earlier this week. She stated at a press conference on Monday, quote, "My lawsuit alleges that Suburban Express has long been engaged in illegal discrimination and harassment against college students in Illinois, students and their families. Customers from China and other Asian countries have been at the heart of the discrimination."
The University Academic Senate will discuss whether to stop Chief Illini Week appearances at sporting events on campus. Professor Jay Rosenstein will ask the Senate to vote on a resolution that would treat chief appearances as protests, which aren't allowed at athletic facilities on campus. Chancellor Jones said at Monday's meeting that he spends up to 80% of his days dealing with the chief controversy on campus. He says this resolution would not be effective. Jay Rosenstein says he will discuss this resolution at the next meeting on Monday.
A local Champaign parolee has been arrested yesterday afternoon for a drug and weapons offense. 23-year-old Jamonte Hill was pulled over near the mall in North Champaign. Police officers caught Hill with cocaine in the door handle pocket of the driver's side door. The arrest was made by members of the Champaign County Street Crimes Task Force. Because of Hill's previous charges, he could go to prison for up to 30 years if convicted. Now we will send it outside to Naya Crittenden for a look at the weather. Naya?
Yes, ladies. I am enjoying the weather so much. It's such a nice day here in Champaign-Urbana, and I'm sure other people are enjoying it too. We'll take a look at the Fastcast. 64 degrees today, mostly clear, as I said. The sun was out. It was a really nice day. The temperature is steadily dropping now. And the sun will set at 7:41 p.m. tonight, and we'll get into more detail when I go through my full forecast later. That's all I have for you guys out here. Back to you in the studio.
Well, thank goodness for that warm weather. I feel like it's been snowing, it's been raining, and now spring is finally here. How about that?
Can you believe it? Finally, no more rain or cold, and I can put away my winter jacket.
Finally.
Coming up after the break, the Illini Union Board hosts their annual Treat Yourself Week.
Woohoo! And students line up on the quad to get their bikes fixed free of charge.
This past Monday kicked off the second annual Illinois Distracted Driving Awareness Week. The University of Illinois Police Department has turned their attention to stopping distracted drivers this week in participation with the campaign. This Awareness Week is a coordinated effort throughout Illinois to educate the public about the dangers of driving while distracted and enforcing those laws to the Illinois roads. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, 10 people are killed in distracted driving accidents every day. Last year's effort resulted in 18,000 warnings and citations in distracted driving offenses. University police are not only asking drivers to be more aware, but pedestrians and bicyclists as well.
If you don't have a car on campus, you have the chance to get your bike fixed today. Cristiano Simonetta has more on why some students on campus were lining the main quad with their bikes this afternoon.
Some students on campus are packing the quad and getting their bikes fixed for free. Neutral Cycle and the University of Illinois Police Department came together to set up a bike clinic. UIPD Communications Director Patrick Wade says the clinic is important for teaching students about their bicycles, from maintenance to the rules of the road.
The goal is just to get the word out about bike safety, getting bikes registered, and then also getting people some free tune-ups so they're ready to go for spring.
Wade also says some bicycle accidents result from faulty equipment. Sophomore Mackenzie Bach says they can come from crowded sidewalks on campus as well.
There is such a large chance of someone getting injured from a cyclist, just because cyclists are not expected to be on the sidewalks. They're supposed to be on the street in the bike lane.
Neutral Cycle mechanic Tim Chow chimed in, citing an understanding of bike laws as an essential need.
Here, we try to help them to understand the rules in town and help them to be safe.
Chow, one of the two mechanics at the clinic, says students are mainly interested in these types of events because of the free tune-ups. However, Wade says he uses that as a chance to educate.
That gives us an opportunity as the police department and the university to kind of talk to them about bicycle safety, some of the laws, registration, which is a really good idea. Obviously, we know bike theft is a huge problem, not only on our campus, but every campus.
For the students and faculty that missed out on today's bike clinic, don't you worry, there are still several more scheduled this spring. The next one will take place on May 1st at Neutral Cycle's store on 5th Street in Champaign, with even more stations and mechanics on hand. In Champaign, I'm Cristiano Simonetta, UI7 News.
Unusual weather in April is affecting local farmers. Many farms near Champaign have had to delay their planting season by 2 weeks. This delay could cause problems for the farms in the fall when it's time to harvest. However, a spokesman from the Champaign County Farmers Bureau told UI7 that, quote, if we have moderate temperatures and timely rains, harvest may be right on schedule to a little later, end quote.
Ameren recently filed for an increase in electricity rates to the Illinois Commerce Commission. However, spokesperson from Ameren stated that this would eventually lead to a decrease in rates for customers starting in 2019. She told UI7 that, quote, beginning in 2019, the average customer taking supply from Ameren, Illinois will pay on average $3.50 per month, less than today's rates. The Illinois Commerce Commission will make a final decision on this rate hike by December.
Isn't that, wow, can you believe that due to this horrible April weather,
it's been affecting the farmers?
Absolutely.
But it sounds like it's going to be right on track and just in time for summer. I mean, I know I'm excited for the strawberries and all those crops to be ready.
Absolutely. My mom and I actually go to Wisconsin for strawberry picking, so that'll be a lot of fun.
It'll be perfect weather for that.
Absolutely.
After the break, Naya Crittenden joins us to talk more about the weather heading into the weekend.
Then later, Zach Bearcat joins us to talk about what's going on in Illini and national sports.
Now here, Naya Crittenden with the weather.
Yes, ladies, it is a beautiful day in Champaign-Urbana. The sun is out and it is shining, and we're hoping to see this weather carrying on into the rest of the weekend. In local temperatures, pretty much the same throughout this area of Illinois. Everyone's kind of in, that mid-range, mid-60s. 65 really has kind of been the high for a lot of these areas. As you can see, Springfield is a little bit higher than the rest at 66 degrees. But as you look over this, mostly we're all around the same range, and I think going into the rest of the weekend, all these areas will be about the same as well. Midwest temperatures, Des Moines and Davenport, same thing, they're around the same as us. But Chicago, for example, really, really cold. It's getting a little chilly there, 47 degrees today, and going into the rest of the weekend. And then going to St. Louis, we go south, 70 degrees, so it's really, really warm there. But Kansas City, a little over more to the west, 55 degrees. They're going to have a lot of rainstorms today and thunderstorms, but hopefully it doesn't carry throughout the rest of the weekend. And here in Louisville, 68 degrees, as well as Paducah. So really warm weather for these southern areas of the Midwest. And national temperatures, what really stands out today, 95 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona. It is really hot there. Really warm, dry desert. So it's a really nice day probably for those that are there in Arizona. But LA, 69 degrees, so not too warm and not too far ahead of where we are here in the Midwest. And like I said, again, the mid-range, 60 degree weather. And again, Seattle, 65 degrees. And then kind of carrying that into Denver as well. So you have Denver, and we get to the south as well in Dallas, 59 degrees. So we're all kind of in that same area besides Phoenix, Arizona. And the same thing again in Atlanta, 66 degrees, and Miami at 79. And tonight, 36 degrees will be the low, partly cloudy. We will have winds coming in from the northeast, 12 miles per hour. So if you're out, you might want to have a jacket with you. It will be chilly. But tomorrow, another beautiful day, no clouds in the sky, 65 degrees. And slight winds coming in from the northeast, about 7 miles per hour, but not too bad at all. It'll be a great day to go lay out and just enjoy the sun. And for the rest of the week, our 5-day forecast. Throughout the rest of the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, we're going to see a high of 64 degrees. The sun is out, and there will be really no clouds in the sky. Saturday will be 59 degrees, and it will be partly cloudy. Won't be too chilly, but there will be a little bit of wind, so you might want a sweater for that day. But Sunday, we're back with no clouds in the sky as well. Really, really clear skies, 62 degrees. So for those that are competing in the 5K or even those that are watching, it's a beautiful day for competition. It's a beautiful day for those runners to be out and for people that are just going to enjoy the weekend here in Champaign-Urbana. It's going to be really, really nice out this weekend. Yeah, so again, the weather is going to be so beautiful this entire weekend. And as I mentioned, the 5K, are you guys have any friends that are going to be in it, or are you guys going to be running in it?
I am not running in it, but I do have a best friend who's in it, and she's been training really hard, so I'm excited to watch her. It looks like the weather is going to be pretty good. So.
And I also have a friend who has been training for it for quite a while.
Bless their hearts.
Absolutely.
Good luck to them. Perfect weather for that.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Naya.
They're very lucky too, because the weather's going to be so nice for them. And I know last year it was really cold.
Very cold.
The weather was not great, so for these runners, it's going to be great.
Thanks, Naya.
Thank you, Naya.
Zach Bearcat joins us now with UI7 Sports.
Yeah, guys, there's a lot going on in sports right now. Many of the teams are doing well, including men's and women's tennis. They're both heading to the Big Ten tournament. More coming up after the break. Illinois baseball has struggled this past week. They went 1-3 with losses to Valparaiso and Grand Canyon. They faced the Bradley Braves looking for a bounce-back win yesterday. The game went 11 innings, but the Illini ended up losing 4-3. The Illinois women's softball team is currently playing Eastern Illinois. Only 8 games remain on their season. They are 30-15 overall, which is the second most of any Big Ten team, but they still need to finish strong in hopes of making the NCAA tournament. The Illinois men's golf team is having a championship season. They have won 8 out of their last 9 Big Ten titles. They are on quest to win another one as the Big Ten championships start Friday in Baltimore. Nick Hardy and Dalen Meyer reflect on their time here.
Memories and certainly success helps relive those memories, and I'm just fortunate enough to be a part of it and have had the success that we've had. I mean,
Women's golf wrapped up their successful season. 4 Illini golfers were named to the All-Big Ten honors yesterday. This comes after a second-place finish at the Big Ten Championship this past Sunday. Men's tennis finished their regular season last Sunday. They got the Senior Day win and finished the season 19-1 overall, 10-1 in Big Ten play. They head to the Big Ten tournament Friday in Iowa City. Alex Vukic looks forward to the tournament.
I think these last 2 matches we've done well with adversity. We've dealt with some windy conditions and getting down doubles points. So we've done really well mentally. And if we say that, we're going to be extremely tough to beat. And I'm excited to see where the team can go from there.
Women's tennis also finished their regular season this past Sunday. They won their final match Sunday, finishing the season with 20 wins for the first time since 1982. They will be in Minneapolis next week for the tournament. Men's gymnastics finished 3rd at the NCAA Championship this past weekend. Junior Alex Diab gets the rings title. Head coach Justin Springs shares his thoughts.
I saw a lot of fight, and at the end a lot of tears and kind of broken hearts, to be completely honest. We were probably the best team on the floor today. Well, we were the best team here, and then we just weren't the best team on the floor today.
Former Illini basketball guard Tajon Lucas is transferring to Milwaukee. He averaged 5.32 points and 3.2 assists during his 2 seasons at Illinois. In other Illini basketball news, Dave Downey has been announced to the Illini Hall of Fame. And Illinois hosted the Oskey Awards Monday night, honoring the best Illini athletes. Cross-country star Nicole Choquette and national champion wrestler Isaiah Martinez earned the Big Ten Medal of Honor. Softball pitcher Taylor Edwards received the Fighting Illini Spirit Award. In other sports news, the Golden State Warriors and Philadelphia 76ers move on to the second round of the playoffs after wins last night. Both teams won 4-1. The 76ers make the playoffs for the first time since 2012. Some are speculating whether this will be Dwayne Wade's last game as a player. He's had a heck of a career. Manu Ginobili also finished what could be his last game of his storied career. 4 games on the schedule tonight, with Utah and Houston also looking to move on to the second round. Cleveland and Indiana face off tonight, as well as Toronto and Washington. Both series are tied 2-2. In the NHL, Maple Leafs face off against the Bruins tonight in Game 7 of their series. Winner moves on. Round 2 of the NHL playoffs begins tomorrow, with the Penguins facing the Capitals and the Jets facing the Predators. The Cubs face off against the Indians tonight. Last night, Kyle Schwarber hit 2 home runs in the game, including this monster one to right field. They won last night's game 10-3. And the White Sox hosted the Mariners today after losing 1-0 yesterday to Seattle. They aim to get a win after struggling offensively last night. Yeah, guys, we also just got word that Michael Finke, former Illini guard, is transferring to University of Grand Canyon, or Grand Canyon University, excuse me.
Thanks, Zach.
That's all we have for you tonight on UI7 News. Thanks for joining.
Have a great night.